What's up, everybody? We're back again with a Where Are They Now from past 15 Minutes of Lame Contestants. And we get to talk to them a little bit 2 years later, and we're going to see if their fucking gay little ball python dreams came true, or if they went south on them like a fucking Daytona fucking stripper. And I'm going to bring in my good friend here, Mr. Kevin Finke from
How's it going?
KDF Reptiles. What's going on, brother?
Doing good after yourself, Chris.
Good, man. Good. Just plugging away here. I'm not even going to waste any time. What have you been doing for the last 2 years?
Man, last 2 years has been busy for me. So basically, I'm just increasing my breeding program, adding more animals to what I've got. Just recently built a 2,000 square foot rat building. That way I can kind of house the rodents I need to feed my ever growing collection and make sure that I can kind of help out a little bit if I can. If there's a little market shift or something, I can kind of piggyback a little bit onto the rats and kind of help out a little bit if I need to. So basically,
2,000 square feet. Damn.
Yeah.
Jesus
It's an
Christ.
overtaking. It's a lot, but it works.
Is it on your property?
Yes, sir. I've got 6 acres of land. I just moved over and just added it to it. So it's part of the ever growing farm out, I guess, like you can say out here.
Jesus Christ. And which state are you in again?
We're in Arkansas.
Arkansas. So if people in Arkansas need rats, they
Yep.
can come to you, or
I'm starting to get my name out there a little bit into that. I'm not really trying to do a lot right now. I do have my clientele that I'm selling to at this point. I'm starting to gain it a little bit, and I'm starting to add more to that. So right now at this point, you can message me, see if there's something I can do, but I cannot ship. So that's kind of where I'm at right now. It's just costs way too much to ship them.
Jesus Christ. So if you have a 2,000 square foot rat building, how big is the building for your snakes?
Snakes right now about 500 square foot, so they're getting a little overshadowed a little bit. But
Okay.
they don't need all that.
That's what I'm saying. All right.
Yep.
Fucking animals in drawers. That's all we keep is animals in drawers. All right.
That's it.
So in the last 2 years, which direction did you start moving into again? Like, are you
Really into recessives? I started really heavily into my puzzle project. I really kind of went nosedived into that. Nosedived into exanthic projects, the VPI line. This year, I produced the exanthic puzzles, the pastel exanthic puzzles. So I'm starting to do some different codom stuff into my puzzles. I'm starting to do more recessives into them. So for 23 season, it's going to be a lot of exanthics and a lot of puzzles.
So you actually have double recessives right now?
Yes.
Visuals. Yeah.
Yep. Visuals on the ground.
Man, look at you. Not many people do that. Now, everybody is really jumping on this recessive bandwagon, right?
I've been on it since day one.
Well, the thing is about you, you're actually working with puzzle, which is awesome. I mean, I don't see a lot of people, working with the puzzle. They're working the Desert Ghost Clowns, Desert Ghost Pies, and things like that. So kudos to you, man, for fucking bringing out something a little bit different.
Right. I didn't want to follow the trends with everybody else doing. I mean, nothing wrong with those projects, but there's only so much room in those projects. So let me do something completely different, and I'll do my own spin on things.
That's yeah, dude, that's fucking awesome. Now, were you a show guy when you last came on?
Oh yeah, yep. I started doing NERBC shows. I do herp shows, but mostly, like I said, I've kind of backed off a little bit just because of the demand of what's going on with my rodents right now. It's taken a lot out of my time, so I don't really have the time to go and do the shows as much as I used to.
Well, and of course, you've had to see the decline in the local shows as far as sales go, right?
They have.
I mean, it's almost not worth driving 8 to 10 hours to sell $500 worth of shit,
Yep, it's getting pretty barren right now. It's getting pretty bad.
And what do you think the reason behind that is?
Man, as much as I love all these show promoters, there's just way too many of them going on in the same area. There's only so much you can tell somebody before you're like, listen, enough is enough. Whenever you've got people coming to the shows and they're telling you that there's not really a sense of urgency to buy an animal at that show because they can go to a show a week later or 2 weeks later because it's within drive distance. If you don't want to do the bigger shows, hit the bigger shows and make it worthwhile. That's kind of what I'm doing at this point. I'm not trying to hit every show every weekend. I can't. There's just no way.
Right. How close are you to Texas?
Texas, I'm 15 minutes from the border, so I mean
Okay.
it don't take no time for me to get to Texas.
So you know, I mean, in Texas,
Hmm.
there's a fucking show every
Every
week and a
weekend.
half, too. Yeah,
Yep, every weekend
So
almost.
yeah, it's a little bit much considering that you're right that there is no sense of urgency
There's
anymore
not.
unless you're selling product.
Yep,
If you're selling product,
it's a
you're
different
cleaning
market.
up all day long. Yeah. Now, how long have you been doing this total?
Ball pythons. My first breeding season was 2013, so this will be my 10th full season breeding ball pythons. I do about 70 clutches a year. I've done 70 clutches a year for the last 4 years. So I mean, I'm doing 400 plus babies a year.
So Jesus fucking Christ. So in reality, what you're telling me is you shouldn't have even been on the first 15 minutes of lane because you're way too advanced to be on a new breeder segment.
Hey man, you put me on the 15 minutes of lame, and I just took the chance.
That's fucking awesome. So you've been doing it for 10 years.
Yep.
What's your opinion on this fucking new group of breeders, these fuckwads that are like, oh man, I wish everybody nothing but the best and I want everybody to do well. And the reality of it is that everybody can't do well, right?
Right.
And
It's a
and
business.
right. And how long is this little dick sucking gonna last before one of these guys fucks each other over, similar to like what we dealt with 10 years ago when people
I
were doing it left and right?
I think the best thing for me and the best way I've taken this is I just kind of look at it and I let them figure themselves out. I don't want to get into a pissing contest with both anybody. I just rather back off and let them tell me that I don't know what I'm doing. Everybody does what they need to do. I'll do me. I'll do my projects. I'll do my different thing I need to look into. That's the best way I can do. Because if you try to get in the middle of the drama, you're not really going anywhere and you're just spinning your wheels. I'm not getting in the middle of the drama. I don't care to get in the drama. It's just leave me out of it.
Well, and you've been doing this for a while now. Do you do YouTube, TikTok, Instagram?
I need to do something. That's why nobody knows really who I am until you go to shows. And it was very apparent for me when I've been to the Tinley show this past time. I got to meet people that I've only seen online, I've talked to online, but I've never seen them person face to face. And I really
Right.
got to network with people this upcoming time. It was very, very eye opening for me, I guess you could say. But it's nice to finally get to know these people face to face. But at the same time, there's so many people doing this, and you're right. There's a lot of people that came in 2020 with all the bag of money just because everybody was getting the money. So let's buy stuff because we're breeding animals now, and that's what we're going to do.
Right.
The market's going to get tough in the next 6 to 8 months. It's already gotten kind of tough, but as long as you're just willing to know when to fold them, you got to know what to do, and that's kind of why I jumped in and did this rodent building, just so it can supplement me just in case the snake sales tank off or something happens. I will be one of the ones that lasting at the end of the day.
Right. So you have the ability to wait out the next year
Yep.
or two because if you've been doing this 10 years, you know as well as I do. We've seen this
It up and
twice
down.
in the last
Yep.
10 years.
Absolutely. It's an even
It,
flow market. It happens with everything.
right.
But
Exactly.
so basically, this upcoming season, I'm breeding everything that I want to see. Like I've done on my breeding plan, I've got 100 animals ready to go for this upcoming season, and 75% of them are recessive projects. The rest of them are all just some small codom stuff, just for some shows, so I can go to still do show stuff, but I'm not gearing my production up to show quality animals for like pet stuff. It's going to be for breeder wise. It's going to be for basically adding to my collection at the end of the day.
Well, and you noticing in your sales more of the more expensive animals are selling quicker than the cheaper animals?
Yep. I've
Yeah.
got, like, just prime example, my Xanthic puzzle stuff. I could have sold 20 males, but I hatched out 2 females. So it's the thing is, your luck of the draw, what everybody's looking for. I mean, you can only do what you can do. You can put the animals together. What you get out of the babies is what you get. So, I mean, I can't get mad about it. It's just what everybody needs. Obviously, return on investment within a year and a half, you can start making your money back compared to 2.5, 3 years. I mean, I get it. I understand completely.
And what's your percentage of lower end animals? And by lower end, I'm talking 500 to 1,000 versus the $2,500 and $5,000 animal.
So the thing is, this year I kind of did about 50-50. That's what I was doing on. I did about 50%. There were 500 more. I did about 50% that were less. But this upcoming season for 23, I've just completely changed my whole game plan. It's going to be at least 75% going to be over the 1,000 mark kind of animal wise.
Right, right. Well, that's the better. I mean, that's what people are buying now.
Right.
You know, the
It's
$300 and
projects.
$500 snake is not
No, because
selling.
not sure everybody can afford a pet anymore. I mean, everybody, it's tough right now for everybody. So your pet industry has taken a massive dive.
Right. Well, and also the $300 and $500 snakes, that there's a billion of them everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yep.
you know, why would you know, even get into that and just make more of those?
Right.
You
Right.
know, like my friends that have been doing paycheck snakes have really taken a hit,
Yep.
you know, over the last 6 months or so, and I think it's going to be the
Absolutely.
same for a while. That
I
is
think so
until
too.
Justin puts out a video with a prominent codom and they start selling again, you know, and
Right.
just hope that you have those.
Right.
Um, Now you're not on YouTube, TikTok, anything else?
But I don't do TikTok and I don't do YouTube part. But I mean, I do have a Facebook, I have Instagram, I have ways of getting a hold of me. But I just, man, trying to find the time to do a video, I really need to, because the stuff that I'm starting to hatch out is really neat at this point. I've just got to find time to do that. But between, like I said, the rodent building and now adding with the stuff that I've got in my snakes, it's just, I mean, I'm a full-time shit cleaner. That's the best way to put it.
So you do this full time,
I do this full-time, yes.
and
I've been doing it
are
full-time for 5 years.
nice, okay. And are most of your sales Morph Market sales right now, or are
Right
they
now
through
they
a
are.
website? Okay.
Yeah, right now. And then I'll also get some that'll be word for mouth, just by somebody looking for a specific project or something like that. They'll message me about that. But for the most part, it's been Morph Market heavy. But right now, the last 6 to 8 months, it's been kind of slow.
Right. Well, there's 50,000 fucking snakes on Morph Market
There are.
on the US side alone, right?
Yep. Yep. So if you don't have something that is standing out that nobody else has got, you just might as well hold on and get ready to wait.
Right. Well, I mean, hold on to those females and fucking breed them.
Right.
You know,
Because the market
some
will correct itself.
it absolutely will. It absolutely will. And I think that I forgot where I heard it before, but you know, they would always say the only way you won't make money here is if you stop breeding or if
Yep.
an animal dies, you know.
Right.
But
Right.
if you keep breeding, you know, it's gonna you know, it's gonna eventually correct itself.
It
Now,
will.
what's your take on the genetic testing? You know, are you a big fan of that, or
I'm absolutely a big fan of that. Now, my thing is, I've been asked by RGI to send in some exanthics and puzzle stuff. So I'm in the process now of basically getting them together about 50 different sheds of exanthics and puzzles and all different codoms in the mix of those, so I can send it in. Do I do I agree with testing every animal? No. If you're in your own particular animal that you're wanting to do a long shot clutch for, and you want to take the time and you want to take the shot on, hey, is it worth the test to go do it? Absolutely, go for it. But do I think it's for every animal? No.
right? I mean, if you're gonna have a clutch that's only worth 2 grand,
Yeah, what's the point?
you know, do you really want to test 6 animals at
Right.
$100 a panel or $150
Absolutely.
a panel?
So
Um,
I'll give you an example right now of an animal that I'm getting ready to send in to get tested. So I have hatched out a pewter puzzle that it's either het clown or it's a visual clown. I'm not too sure. It's the funkiest pewter puzzle I've ever hatched in my life, but it's not a typical clown combo, what you would expect to see. But I don't know. So I'm going to send that test in to let them test me and tell me what I've got, and then kind of go from there. It's a boy. I could prove it within a year, but why not go ahead and know what I've got so I can pair it to all my clown females if that's what I truly have?
right, and not waste time.
Absolutely.
You know, but what's your take on the argument that it takes a little bit of the fun out of it?
Well, it absolutely does take the fun out of it. And me personally, I started from the fun. So when I started with Puzzle back in 2011, I bought in with 100% het boy and a 50% het female. And I
Mm,
proved out the female with that male. So, I mean, I've done the long route, taken the long route to get the projects to do what I've done. And it's absolutely joyful to hatch that animal out, knowing that, hey, I've taken the chance. I've raised this animal for 3 years, and she proved out. Now, it's also, I've been on the other end of it to where I've been kicked in the nuts with it, to where,
right.
hey, I've raised this animal for 3 years, and I've bred her for 2 years, and she's never done anything for me. And then she finally lays on the 3rd year of me breeding, and nothing. So I mean, I've been on both ends of the spectrum, but sometimes on some projects, it's worth not wasting that rack or that tub space for that said animal.
Yeah.
Now, every scenario, like I said, I don't agree with it on every scenario. Yes on some, no on others.
Do you have a wholesale connection to get rid of
I
any
do.
byproduct?
I do. I just don't try to do the wholesale route that much. If I can try to sell it myself at a show, I think I'd rather go that route. But I do have wholesale connections, I can call it sometime.
Right. Okay. So you have the ability to get rid of some. So
Yeah.
if you're doing 70 clutches a year,
Right.
you're adding about 400 snakes per year,
Every year.
right? On average, every year.
Yep.
And you're fitting that in 500 square feet.
Yep. I sell.
Jesus.
Right now, I've got about 180 animals available right now from the 400 I hatched this upcoming season. Or this
Okay,
past season.
available.
Yep.
Okay. Okay. And you plan on doing 70 again. When does your season actually start? When do you begin pairing?
This year, because I've got a lot more animals available than what I had in the past, I'll go ahead and start November 1. Normally, I'll start about the midway point in October, but there's no rushing at this point because I've got racks that are filled up right now with babies. So there's really no point to rush it. If I can give myself another month to try to, weed some of these out, that'll kind of allow me to fill them in as I need.
Right. Right. Yeah. Yeah. I think a lot of the new guys, I say this all the time, they have no idea how long 2 years is. Okay.
Yep.
And they also don't understand the value of an empty tank
Yep.
because, the
Empty tub
value.
is invaluable.
Yeah, exactly. Especially when you're on limited space,
Yep.
So it's interesting to see all these guys who drop $30,000, $40,000, in their first year,
Yep.
and watching them try to grow. And when you're seeing them grow like in the absolute wrong way, you're just like, all right, this is never going to work. Like I can honestly say that by now I kind of know, like if a guy spends 30 grand and he starts talking to me, I could be like, yeah, you're not going to be here in 2 years.
Yep. But I
But
mean, but the sad thing is we have to have that in this market to keep it going. We have to have the ones that don't make it to keep it going. I mean,
right.
as bad as I have to say that, you have to have those.
Yeah, you have to have the failures.
Absolutely.
And you have to have the influx of new people.
Yep.
And who do you think, give me 3 breeders that you think are the bigger guys that are responsible for keeping the public interested in these fucking insanely overpriced dumb animals.
Man, I'll be honest with you. So Justin, he's always got the next highest best clown, DG, lavenders. I mean, he's got that market tied up. Bob Vu is very much so coming in with doing a lot of different weird combos that he's done. You go and look at his tables and stuff like that, and you're like, man, this dude's producing some crazy stuff.
Yeah.
After that, I'm talking to Jeff with Mike Wilbanks. I mean, he's starting to now come through with a whole lot of different combos. Before you always consider Mike as, your Bell complex kind of stuff, but Jeff has changed a lot with him. So I have to say, you better watch out because here he comes. He's coming.
Oh, I mean, I had Wilbanks on the show just 2 weeks ago.
Yep.
And it's fucking amazing, man, what he's into. And he's really he's one of the guys that are really firing on all cylinders in the industry right now, between the incubators and the racks, and he's moving over to green trees, and it's interesting as fuck to watch the way Mike's growing, because technically Mike's competition with everybody else,
right?
With Justin and with Bob. But Mike doesn't have a bad word to say about any of them because he knows that there's room here for everybody.
Absolutely. And you look at what he's done, he's expressed and moved on to where it's not just ball pythons. He did no different than what I've done with the rodents. It's giving you another alternative route to make money. And that's what you're looking for at the end of the day. Because if you get bottlenecked into just ball pythons, that's when you start seeing people freak out. That's when you start seeing everybody start eat each other, because that's all you've got is ball pythons. Well, dude, I'm not getting out of them. I'm doing this now at this point. I've had them for 15 years. I started breeding them 10 years ago. But I'm like, I've had them for a while. I'll never see myself not having them. So you might as well just go ahead and get used to the market, fit yourself in where you fit in, and go from there.
And you have a family. You
I
have
do.
2 kids and a wife?
I do. Yep.
Do
And the
they
wife
help
is,
with the business, or
yep, she is full time with me here at the house as well.
so that's all you both do?
That's all we do. That's it.
And you're making enough to make a living and
I am.
fucking crushing it.
Yeah,
I
I'm doing it. I'm
fucking
one of the lucky ones, man.
That's fucking crazy. I love fucking seeing that. I know most people think that I hate that, but I actually love seeing successful people at this thing. Now, where do you see KDF in the next 5 years?
Man, I would love to see us being the guy that, you see Justin and you're thinking clowns. You see Justin, you think of DG. I want to be that guy when you start thinking of puzzle. That's me. If it comes to puzzle, I want you to think of KDF Reptiles in 5 years.
Well, you're gonna have a lot of trouble ripping that from Mr. Bradley, being that he's announcing every time he can that he came up with the puzzle.
Well, you can come up with it all day long, but if I'm
Yeah.
producing more than you are, that's kind of how it comes down to. So
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
Right?
I'll take it. Hey,
Good.
I applaud him for getting the gene that I'm working with. But that gene has made my living, and it has made me who I am today. So
Right.
let's just have fun with this where it is.
Yeah, no, I totally get that. Now, how could people get in touch with you if they want to get in touch with you?
We've got kdfreptiles.com, or we've got my Facebook, I've got my Twitter, not Twitter, but Facebook and Instagram. We don't have a Twitter yet. It's one of those things that's kind of up in the air if we're going to do something like that. I'm not too sure. It's the time frame is what I'm kind of trying to figure out at this point.
Well, you're one of the few breeders that actually have a website. Do you actually update the website?
I do.
Yeah.
I
Okay.
keep everything tried. The baby records right now is what I mostly keep track of, because that way you can go in there and see my pairings, see what I've got coming in the future. It's just my available animals. I'll post those when I can, but it's a lot easier to throw them on Morph Market than it is for me to put them on the website and then kind of hit and miss.
Right. Well, I mean, you could just put a link to the Morph Market on your website. You
Right.
know, that would be the easier way to get around that. But Kevin, dude, thank you so much for taking the time, man. I appreciate
Yeah, no
it.
problem. Anytime, Chris.
Well, you go have dinner with your family. I think you're an hour behind me. Go do your thing. But thanks again, and I'm gonna put you back in the waiting room and just play this stupid bumper again, and then we'll go from there. Okay.
Okay. Sounds good.
All right, brother. I'll talk to you in a little bit, and thanks again, man.
No problem.
Man, what a fucking charming motherfucker, huh? Jesus Christ. Everybody, go follow Kevin Fink, KDF Reptiles, KDF Reptiles on Instagram and Facebook, and KDFReptiles.com. I want to thank everybody again for hanging out. We're having a great time doing these little shorts that are sponsored by Patrick McKnight from McKnight Stables. He's also going to be on because he was also a contestant on year 1 of 15 Minutes of Lame. So thanks again, guys, and I will see you probably in exactly 10 days. All right, we're gonna play this dumb little bumper again. All right, talk to you later, guys.